What's going on, YouTube? So it is 1 o'clock in the morning, so please forgive me if I'm a little slow. Super exhausted, but I want to knock this video out because I have work tomorrow. So it's going to be a shorter one, and basically this is going to be kind of talking about how I got my first customers when I first started my online TCG business. A lot of people think that running ads are going to get you your first customers, and that's not really how it happens. If I had to start over all over again, I would actually kind of stay away from ads in the beginning. Through a lot of money went down the tube because I'm trying to figure out what I was doing, throwing money here, throwing money there, thinking, oh, I run ads and bring customers in, and that's how it works. And that's not really how it's going to work out in practicality, right? You can't buy your first customers, you need to earn them. So you have to think about when you first open your store, right? And this is again going to be for online only. Brick and mortar is a completely different beast. I don't do brick and mortar, so I'm not going to speak about that. This is going to be for online only. When you start your online only business and you have your website, you have no reviews. You have no trust. You have no data, right? So if you expect traffic alone to equal sales, you're probably wasting a lot of money. An ad won't create demand, it's only going to reveal whether demand already exists. So, the way that I started is I started selling on Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp. Everybody's there is looking for a deal, right? Which is fine. That's actually very useful when you're first starting out, right? Don't focus on being very profitable when you first start out, okay? Because you have to build that foundation. So use the fact that everybody's looking for a deal to your advantage. And that's what I did, right? So say, for example, let's just make up some numbers here. Say I was selling a box and the market value of that box was $100. Okay, cool. Maybe I'll list it for 100. Maybe I'll probably list it for like 95. People are still going to hit me up and say, hey, would you take 85? Would you take 90 if I do cash, right? And use that to your advantage. That's what I did. I say, okay, yeah, sure, I'll do that. Can you leave a review on my website, right? So I was gonna sell at that price anyway, right? Very rarely you're gonna get a market price on any of these, Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp. But you list it there. People ask you to reduce the price. I say, sure. Can you leave a review? They leave a review. You sell them at that lower price, which you were probably going to have to do anyway if you wanted to move any product. But they think they got a deal. You got your review, right? Everybody's happy. Um, your goal in the beginning is not profit, it's proof, right? Proof of concept, proof that you can move product, proof that demand exists for the product that you are selling, proof that you are able to restock that product. Your logistical flow is going to work as you build up that demand, right? And you're going to learn the pricing structure, where the demand is at for whatever it is you have to be selling, the ebbs and flows of it. In the beginning, that's what you're figuring out, right? So you build trust through those reviews. Reviews drive trust, which then leads to conversions. Okay? So reviews are more valuable than profit in the beginning. You gotta have those, otherwise, you will get zero conversions. You could be paying for all this traffic on ads coming to your website, and none of that traffic will convert if you don't have the trust signals they expect, right? Think about it right now. If you were to go to Google and you were searching for a particular product, right? And especially you have to remember when we're dealing with a sealed TCG product, trust is huge because there's so much um, just very bad activity going on. Whether it's weighing packs, I know you can't really do it with modern anymore, right? But there's still that uh, thought that exists, resealed product, things like that, right? So trust is huge, and if you have no trust in this space, it's going to be very difficult to get started. So now you've started building some reviews up, right? Now, a lot of you guys will probably look at selling on eBay, right? And you can use eBay for exposure and legitimacy, right? And I know you have to pay fees on eBay, but don't think of it as eBay's. taking my profit out of me, right? I can't make money off it. I can't build my business out of that. Some people do, right? Don't get me wrong. Some people build very profitable businesses using eBay stores. That is not the route that I chose, so that's not going to be the route that I'm talking about. But I will talk about what role eBay can fit in this funnel that we're building, right? I did one thing I want to mention. In addition to marketplace and offer up, many of you may vend or may choose to vend at card shows. That is an excellent way to build that trust. Just make sure that while you're there, get them to leave a review. Make sure you have, if you have social media, which you should have social media, make sure they're tagging you, and building that reference thread, right? Anyway, so back to eBay. When it comes to the fees, don't think of the fees as eBay's is taking your money and your business is not going to flourish there, right? Accept the fees as a growth cost, right? Customer acquisition. And every order that I sold on eBay, I put my business card in there. Well, I do that for every order regardless, right? Even the orders that I sell on my first party site, my business card goes along with that, right? Just thank you for your purchase, leave a review, yada yada. Here's my socials, yada yada yada, right? Put that in every order. So say you sold an item for $100. eBay takes like 13.5%. So your fees, let's say it's $13. But now the customer gets the product, opens it up, sees your business card. Oh, okay. Well, for our next purchase, maybe I will go directly to the website then, because it's probably going to be cheaper, right? You kind of have to increase your price a little bit when you're selling on eBay to account for those fees. So next time, they'll go to your website and buy directly from you, hopefully, right? A lot of them will. And then now you paid 13% of a previous sale, and now that customer is locked into buying on your first party site in the future, right? So think of it as a customer acquisition channel. At least that's how I did. I did not choose to build my business using eBay as my main platform. It was just another way to get customers, right? Marketplaces kind of have inherent trust in them already. So utilize that, right? People are coming in, they're searching for whatever, they find that you have a good listing, you have decent shipping, whatever the case may be, they buy from you. Now's your opportunity to kind of get them into your ecosystem, right? So a marketplace can help build your business, but your store is where you scale it because you control your margins and have control of the experience on your store, not so much when you're selling on a third party website. Okay? When you're trying to build this conversion funnel, right? So for me, I use Shopify, right? I know some people may use Wix. I would assume Wix and Shopify have some similarities. I'm not going to necessarily give specifics on Wix because I don't really know that platform. I know Shopify. When you start your new store, your store lacks data and visibility. Okay, the algorithm doesn't know what you're about. It doesn't know who your customer is. It doesn't know if it can trust you yet. So when people are going to the shop app, which, and maybe this will be for a different video, it is a lot bigger than I thought it was. There's a lot more people that utilize that than I anticipated. And I didn't take advantage of some of the benefits of that for many, 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 many months down the line. Topic for another video. Anyways, so you use these marketplaces to get sales, reviews, right? These conversion signals to start happening on your store. Oh, and by the way, with Shopify, you can sync your Shopify inventory into eBay using an app on the Shopify store. Okay, so that way, when the sale occurs on eBay, it syncs into Shopify. You will fulfill it. You will do everything within Shopify. So the algorithm, even though it's sold to eBay, the algorithm is going to see that conversion. It's not going to get all the customer data because that's going to be held by eBay, but it will see, okay, this store has a conversion. It shipped within a certain amount of time, so it's shipping. We're not seeing a bunch of chargebacks. Um, Hopefully, you're getting people to leave reviews, right? So on mine, on my card, it says if you leave a review, and I have an app set up, it's Judge Me for anybody that wants to use it. Third-party app. It will send an email link to the customer's email, asking them to leave a review, and then you can set it up so that way it will give them an automatic discount code to use on a future purchase, right? So I have mine set up so if they leave a review, they'll get a discount code for their next purchase, and that kind of helps keep that funnel going so they're repeat customers with you and you get those reviews. Um, so, anyways, the algorithm will see, okay, conversions are coming in. It's coming in for these different items. The price point works. These SKUs are popular. Maybe I should start pushing this a little more when people are browsing. Rank the store up just a little bit higher. This particular SKU seems to be selling well. It's a little more relevant, converts well, so the pricing must be on point. It's an item that people want. Let's push it a little more. Let's give it more visibility, right? As that happens, you can start getting more conversions from the organic traffic that's coming in, right? You didn't have to spend money to advertise. The algorithm saw the conversions and the data that was coming in, organically pushed these listings for you, which then turn into more organic conversions. Okay, now the algorithm says, okay, I showed these um, listings organically, conversions happen. This store must be relevant to what people are looking for. We're not having complaints about it, chargebacks and returns and this, that, and the other. Fulfillment seems to be happening rather quickly. Tracking numbers are being added to everything. So this seems like a store that we should continue to push, and you can start scaling, right? And then it'll be a topic again for another video, but this is where I wish I would have understood that funnel a little bit better and taken advantage of the shop campaign that you can do within the Shopify store. It's very different than Meta ads and Google ads, but it's a very important part of the funnel that can get you really high quality customers because they're already within the shop um, ecosystem. They tend to be repeat buyers. But anyways, that'll be a topic for another time. So just know that everything is part of this conversion funnel. And once you see how it kind of works together, you can start taking advantage of that and doing the things you need to do to silently kind of help that algorithm push your store. So the question then becomes, when do ads make sense? Okay, ads will work after you have some trust, reviews, and data. If you just start with ads right from the get-go, sure, you can spend a lot of money, have a lot of traffic coming into your site, but you're not really going to have conversions yet. Now, of course, there's going to be exceptions. Not saying you won't get any conversions, but it's very important that if you're spending money on ads, you need to be getting a return on ad spend with that, right? Now, like I mentioned in my last video, there's going to be a learning period for the algorithm, right? So don't expect you to start running ads right away and start making all this money. It will take time for the algorithm to learn who your customer is, uh, start building up the cart values, understanding all the different SKUs and whatnot. That takes time, right? But if you don't have data, you don't have reviews, there's no trust, people will see the item in your ad, they'll click, you'll pay however much that click is going to cost you. They're going to come to your website and not convert. And you're just spending all this money to generate clicks, get visitors, and not make any sales. So make sure you set this up first, right? Have your website set up. Once you have these trust signals coming in and you have reviews and you tweak this, that, and the other, you will start seeing those conversions grow. That will teach the algorithm. The algorithm will get more conversions and start better honing in on the customers that are going to be more likely to convert on your site. So I guess you could say ads will work after trust, reviews, and data have happened and amplify what's already working. It's not going to make a broken store suddenly start working, right? Ads didn't get me my first customers. They amplified what I already had that was working. So I guess to wrap up, start with demand, right? You got to figure out, is the product that I'm selling in demand in the area I'm selling at? Is my pricing going to work for this item? And is my logistical back system going to be able to support this, right? If I buy 20 booster boxes, right? I got these 20 booster boxes to sell. Great, maybe I can sell them, but can I get more, right? If your logistics aren't going to work, your fulfillment time is going to see issues, right? You have long periods of time where just everything is out of stock. That's going to hurt the algorithm learning. Um, so use that beginning time to really kind of set the foundation and scale from there, right? Build trust intentionally. Get those reviews. If you're vending at card shows, right? Get people to tag you on social. Get those social media um, kind of cues that show you are legitimate. You are here in this space. You're not just some fly by night flipper, some scammer, right? Get those trust signals going. Use marketplaces strategically, right? For example, eBay, right? And I use that example because I kind of used it a little bit. A lot of you guys may be looking at that. Look at the fees as a customer acquisition cost, right? Make sure you don't break the rules on there, right? So you can't message people and say, hey, if you buy from my website, it's $5 cheaper, or whatever it is, right? If you do that, you're going to get kicked off eBay. So just make sure that you follow the rules of eBay. You make your sale on eBay, but put your business card in there. And maybe next time that person will buy directly from you. They'll go to your site, which is great because it's not going to cost you a click if they search your website and click a sponsored link, right? If they go directly to your website, it costs you nothing for that. Scale after you've proved your model. And just remember, your first customers are not something that you buy, okay? They're something that you earn. So do what you need to do to earn those customers in the beginning and scale from there. So visit my website, epiccollectibles.com, buy my stuff. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you have already started a business, feel free to share what you did to earn your first customers because I understand there could be a million different ways to do it. I'm explaining the way that worked for me and how I did it, but feel free to share what worked for you guys so we can all kind of enlighten each other and see what, my method may not work for somebody. The method you have works well for that person. So I'll see you guys next time. Take care.